WWE Royal Rumble takes place this Sunday in Houston, Texas from Minute Maid Park, which is the home of the Houston Astros. And they've actually had a lot of controversy as of late, so I don't know how much they want to be associated with the Astros, but it's in that stadium. And this is the second consecutive year they've done a baseball stadium. And last year was really cool because the Royal Rumble entrance was when they would come up through the dugout, and it looked really, really cool. So hopefully we get to see more dugout entrances. And I like the baseball stadium for Royal Rumble and the football stadium for WrestleMania. I think they should do that tradition. One gets baseball, one football. And one thing I like also with the Rumble is the fact that it's outdoors. It's January. You can do an outdoor show. And it's always a fun show. I like outdoor shows. I prefer them to indoors, to be quite honest. And the one thing about the show is it's Royal Rumble, so you're going to get 2 Rumble matches, which means you're going to get a 7-hour show, I assume. You have 8 matches official. I don't know which ones are going to be on the pre-show. I can assume a couple. I can see a couple of them being pushed down to the pre-show. I would put 2 of them on the pre-show of the 8 matches they have announced. I'm sure they're going to announce more. I won't be able to review to predict all of them, but I will do it in the description. So you might not hear in this video, but if they add matches later in the week, I'll add it into my description as who I predicted. But right now I have 8 matches. And here we have it. So 2 of them, of course, include the Royal Rumbles. You have for the United States Championship, Andrade being accompanied with Zelina Vega defending his title against Humberto Carrillo. Yeah, so this is an interesting match. I don't know how they're going to go here. I assume Andrade is going to win for sure, but I don't know how they're going to go in storyline-wise. Are they really going to go with the Humberto-Andrade feud again? They just had Andrade beat Ray. It looks like that's it. Ray and Andrade are done. Andrade squashed him, or he didn't squash him, but he crushed him in the ladder match. I mean, he drove him through a fucking ladder. What else are they going to do? I thought they'd save Ray and Andrade for this show, and the ladder match on this show, because they've had some great ladder matches in Royal Rumble history. Who can front Jericho and Benoit in that match? That was great. That was almost 20 years ago. I wish they would have saved it here, but they did not. Here you have a good matchup. This should probably be a pre-show show. I'm sure Zelina will get involved. I don't know what they're going to do with Andrade at WrestleMania. I can't see him going back to Ray. I guess they're just going to feud Humberto again. Maybe he gets an opponent for WrestleMania, but I think the Ray stuff's over. So I got Andrade beating Humberto. I think this is almost a lock. I'd be shocked if Humberto won. Next, we go to Sheamus against Shorty G. This is the lock of the night. I made a mistake when I said Andrade was the lock. This is the fucking lock. Sheamus is going to kill Shorty G. Sheamus wins. Nothing else to say here. Falls count anywhere. You have Roman Reigns against King Corbin. Now, this is very interesting. Roman Reigns is obviously going to play a big role in the Royal Rumble later in the show. I fully expect him to be a part of the men's match. Here, this is actually going to be a good match. I think this will be really good. Here's a situation. I hate Corbin, but this is a baseball stadium. It's a falls count anywhere. This allows them to go throughout the stadium. Some of my favorite matches are when they go to big stadium shows like at WrestleMania. They do matches backstage. I remember WrestleMania 17 in Houston, Texas, by the way, which was Kane, Big Show, and Raven. That was a lot of fun. I hope they do stuff like that. Go fight all throughout the entire baseball stadium. The baseball stadium's more, there's more there to fight in than a football stadium. Like a baseball stadium, there's like the dugout, through the fans, through the home run parts. I don't know. I think there's so much more they can do here. And hopefully they explore the stadium a lot, go fight throughout the entire stadium. I think that'll be a fun match. I think this is going to be an entertaining match. I want to watch it, actually. I think this is going to be good. Roman Reigns is winning. He's not losing to King Corbin twice. I guarantee you Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode are going to interfere on behalf of Corbin. They'll attack Reigns, but Reigns will get back up. Someone will help Reigns. It's not going to be Rollins. There'll be the Usos. They'll come out. The Usos will help them, and it'll be a giant melee. They'll fight everywhere. Reigns wins, and Roman Reigns is done with King Corbin after this. SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defends her title against Lacey Evans. Bayley's winning for sure. They're giving Lacey Evans a good push. I think I don't know when they're going to really pull the trigger on her, but they will. Eventually it will. They will give her the title. It's not going to happen now. Bayley's wrestling Sasha Banks or WrestleMania. Almost positive. I think if they do it, Sasha would literally quit again. But I think that's where they're going. I don't know what's going to happen at the Rumble. We'll talk about in the Rumble match. We'll talk about that later. But here, I'm almost positive Bayley's winning. I can't see Lacey Evans winning. They could do it, and they could have Bayley win the title back. I assume they could do that, but I do not see Lacey Evans winning. They had her beat Bayley cleanly. They had her knock her out on SmackDown, pin her in the middle of the ring. So they're trying to make her a believable opponent. I do not see her beating Bayley, though. I think Bayley keeps her title and she advances. So picking Bayley to retain. the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defends her title against Asuka. They've built this up very good. Becky Lynch can't beat Asuka. Asuka beat Becky Lynch cleanly last year and at the Royal Rumble in Phoenix last year, and she tapped her out, beat her clean. People were pissed off. I don't understand why they had Becky tap out cleanly, but hey, they got to build it up. And they get to do this match because of what they did last year. I think if last year was Asuka won like in a fluke way, they probably couldn't do it as well. But Asuka crushed Becky last year. She made her tap out with her submission. So Becky has to get her revenge. And what's going to happen is Becky's getting her revenge. There is no way in hell Asuka's beating Becky Lynch here. I think the only way, I suppose, if they'd have Becky get herself DQ'd and Asuka's in her head and she beats Asuka at the Elimination Chamber, I suppose they can do that. I don't want to see that, but I do not see Becky Lynch losing to Asuka here. They're going to have a very good match. I had a good match last year. I enjoyed it. It wasn't cut off a bit too short. But of course, what happened? The whole thing last year was Becky lost Asuka, and they can beat her because she was going to win the Rumble. So she'll lose to Asuka means nothing. It's good for Asuka. Then she wins the Rumble. That's how they do it. Becky is. Last year was a SmackDown title. This is a Raw Women's title. Becky's keeping this belt. She's beating Asuka. They'll have a great match, no doubt. They'll tease where Asuka could win. They'll get some of the fans into it. I'm sure they'll do really well here, but Becky Lynch is certainly keeping her title and retains the Raw Women's title, and will go into the Raw Women's Championship as champion into WrestleMania. Next, we have the WWE Universal Championship defended in a strap match. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, defends his title against Daniel Bryan. So this would be a way, if they wanted to get the belt off the Fiend, this would be a good way to do it because it's a strap match. You don't have to beat him. This would be fine. This would be a decent way. They can give the title to Daniel Bryan, and they can have him face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania if they want, and they can protect Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. But the Fiend is going to WrestleMania to face Roman Reigns. What's going to happen here is Daniel Bryan is losing to The Fiend. This will be a fun match. Daniel Bryan had chose an interesting stipulation. They can have a lot of exciting spots here. The Fiend's beaten Daniel Bryan already cleanly. They're going to have a fun match. I think they'll be entertaining. I like this kind of stipulation. I don't mind it, especially if it's late in the show. You can do something to keep the fans interested, because if they have a regular match, I think people are just going to know Bray's going to beat him. So they'll have an interesting matchup here. Daniel Bryan's great. Fans will be super into Bryan. It could be a tease, when he has three corners covered, but he gets cut off at the last second. The Fiend, however, is winning this, and he retains the Universal title in the strap match, so The Fiend's my pick. Finally, we get to the matches everybody wants to see, the Royal Rumble matches. You have the men's and the women's. We'll start with the women, because I assume the women will not main event. Officially announced, you have Charlotte Flair, you have Alexa Bliss, you have Nikki Cross, you have Sarah Logan, and you have Natalya. Here's all the women I see on the poster. I see Bayley, I see Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Natalya, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and on the second row I see Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Lacey Evans. So I assume all of them are going to be in the Rumble. You'll have some surprises. I'm sure you'll have Shayna Baszler will be there. Ronda Rousey, wow, Ronda could do it. They could have Ronda in. It's a possibility. I do not think so. They could have Ronda return, and if she returns, she has to win. You can't have Ronda lose. And it'd be 2 years since she came back at the Royal Rumble. She made her debut actually at the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia 2 years ago in 2018, so it'd be a good tie-in for her to come back and make her big epic return. She goes on to face Becky. If this was me, I would have Ronda win. I would not have Shayna win. I would have Ronda win. I would have Ronda make a giant return out of nowhere, and have her and Shayna come to the last two, and Ronda eliminates her. Then Ronda challenges Becky. She demands, I want my title match. This is going to be a last match. And this is Ronda Rousey's retirement match at WrestleMania. She's done after this. She wants to beat Becky and retire as champion. Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36 defeats Ronda Rousey again. This time she tapped her out in the middle of the ring. She pinned her last year in the fluke way. That was probably designed to set up a rematch. When you look back at it, maybe that was designed to set up a rematch. Becky beat her. This time she's going to tap her out. Ronda leaves. She puts Becky over. The next night on Raw, Shayna Baszler comes back. She makes her debut on the main roster, technically, and she destroys Becky Lynch and sets up Becky and Shayna. That's where Shayna beats Becky on the pay-per-view after WrestleMania. That's how I would book it. I don't see them going that route. I see them doing a situation where they're not going to do that. I don't know who Becky's going to face. It's either going to be Ronda Rousey or Shayna Baszler. It has to be one of those two. It's not going to be Charlotte. They could do Charlotte. They teased it on SmackDown. It is a possibility. I would never doubt them with Charlotte. I mean, if she is Ric Flair's daughter, Vince loves Charlotte. I like Charlotte too, but I wouldn't doubt it. And plus, Charlotte does not have a match. You have to remember that. Who's Charlotte going to face if she's not going to face Becky? You could do, I guess, her against Zelina, her and Andrade against Zelina and Alistair or something like that. But Charlotte needs a match, so Charlotte's a possibility. She's one who can win. Shayna Baszler absolutely is a favorite. Ronda Rousey is a favorite. Those three. And the fourth one is Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks. I think one of those four has the best chance of winning. Sasha, because I really believe it's going to be Bayley and Sasha at WrestleMania. And you could Sasha has to get a match. She has to do it at some point. She has to win a number one contendership. And she can just win an Elimination Chamber, or she can just win some number one contenders match on SmackDown. So who cares, really? Sasha needs to get to WrestleMania somehow. So she is absolutely a possibility because I really believe she's going to face Bayley at WrestleMania. Shayna, absolutely. Charlotte, yes. And Ronda, yes. Okay, I don't see Ronda coming, so I'm going to take her out. I don't see it going to Charlotte. I'm going to take her out. It comes down to Shayna Baszler or Sasha Banks. There's other checks. I don't see it. I don't see Mandy winning. I see Sonya and Mandy fighting and eliminating themselves. I can't see Kairi Sane. I don't see Alexa Bliss. I like her a lot. I don't see her. Just anyone else, I can't see. Maybe Toni Storm can debut here or be on there, but she's not winning. Rhea Ripley's not going to win. Well, she wouldn't make sense. I don't see Io Shirai winning or Bianca Belair or Asuka if she loses. I don't see Natalia. I don't see anyone winning. It has to be Shayna or Sasha. I don't, again, Ronda and Charlotte are possibilities. I don't see it. I think it comes down to Shayna Baszler or Sasha Banks. I'm going to go who I want to, and I want Sasha. I think it could be Shayna. I'm 50-50 on this. I think there's a good chance Shayna is going to win this and challenge Becky. May even beat Becky at WrestleMania. I'm going to go with Sasha Banks. I think they're going to give her the big win. She always talks about how much she loves Vince McMahon on Twitter for some reason. She's going to get it. I'm going to go with Sasha Banks. Gets the big win. Goes on to WrestleMania to face Bayley. And I think she beats Bayley at WrestleMania. I think she's going to get her big push this year. I could be wrong. Could have egg on my face. But I'm going to go with Sasha Banks. That's my pick. I think she wins the women's Royal Rumble. Now, the men's Royal Rumble. This isn't as hard. I think there's only two guys who I think would win. That's Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. I'm going to go through everyone who's announced. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, who is the Universal Champion. This will be the first time I think a champion's going to be in the Rumble and the championship's not online. You had it with Ric Flair in 92, the greatest Royal Rumble of all time, and you had it with Triple H in 2016, I believe. So he's done it. AJ Styles is in it. Eric Rowan, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Elias, King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, Tucker, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Kofi Kingston, Big E, or R-Truth. So Cain Velasquez, I think, is going to make his return. He said he'd be in there. I think he absolutely comes back. I think he'll make Brock Lesnar. I think it probably sets up Brock and Kane at WrestleMania. To the dismay of many people, I think that's where they're headed. I think Kane's going to make his big, epic return. I think he's going to eliminate Brock. So that's going to set up Brock. Brock will come out first. He's number one. He'll last a while. And this is the thing, like, he doesn't have to wrestle the whole time. He can just take a break in the corner while other guys wrestle. So it's not like he's gonna get blown up. He'll German suplex people and he'll take a break. German suplex people, take a break. German suplex people. I don't see Brock winning. He'll make it, I think, halfway through the match. I think someone eliminates him, so I don't see it going to Brock. I don't see it going to AJ. I don't see it going to Randy Orton. He could. He's an outside possibility. I don't see it. Ray, no. Ricochet, no. Corbin, hell no. Otis, no. Ziggler, no. Rusev, absolutely not. Bobby Lashley, hell no. Aleister Black, an outside possibility. I wouldn't mind. I would love it. I think it would be awesome if he won. I don't see it going to him. Not going to go to Strowman. They missed their boat. That 2 years too late with Strowman. They've ruined him. Not going to Rollins, not going to Nakamura again, not going to Rollins again. Rollins won it last year, no. And him and Nakamura, I think they could have a thing where they fight because of their last two winners. Neither of them are winning. Joe, no. Big E, no. Kofi, no. Comes down to two guys, Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre. Who's going to WrestleMania? Both of them are going to WrestleMania at some point. I think it's going to be, I'm going to go, Roman's going to have a great showing. He's going to come down to, I think it's going to come down to Roman and Drew. I think the fans are going to start to cheer Drew. I think that's how they're going to get Drew over. I'm going to go a great matchup here. I think it'll be fun. I think it comes down to those two. I think Drew McIntyre defeats Roman Reigns, eliminates him last, and Drew McIntyre goes on to WrestleMania to challenge Brock Lesnar. There was reports last year that Drew McIntyre was going to win the Rumble and Braun Strowman beat Brock Lesnar last year at the Rumble, and Drew would face Brock or Braun at WrestleMania and beat him. I think they're going to go all the way with Drew. Vince loves Drew. He's going to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That's my pick. I'm picking Drew McIntyre as my Royal Rumble winner in 2020. You say that like 5-6 years ago. It's the biggest joke. I think they're going all the way with this guy. They're going to give him this big push. He's going to be a babyface. Drew McIntyre, my pick to win the Rumble. So that's my predictions. I got Drew and Sasha. Royal Rumble takes place this Sunday, Minute Maid Park, Houston, Texas. Going to be a great show. Looking forward to watching the Rumble.